Okay, so right now we're going to take a look at how to outline section 2.1 about matter. Okay, mainly just going over the three main things I'm looking for when I grade these assignments. For anyone who is absent the day we talked about in class, or maybe just for people that need a refresher and you want to watch this sometime during the trimester. Okay, there are three expectations for your outline assignments. The first one is that you have one summary sentence for every single paragraph. So on the left-hand side, we have the section. And before I grade, what I do is I just go through the section and I count the number of paragraphs. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so on. So for every single paragraph, you need to have a summary of that paragraph written in your outline. And then if we go to the right-hand side, that is kind of what I have set up for you. So after the title 2.1, there is one paragraph represented by this one bullet. So you'd summarize that first paragraph in one sentence right here. Okay. After that, we have a heading, elements in periodic table, and after that heading, you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs, which means you have to write 5 sentences, a summary of each paragraph. And under letter A, elements in periodic table on the right, you can see I put 5 bullets. Each of those would represent one of those paragraphs. So that is like the main chunk of your grade is those summary sentences. Okay, the second part of our outlines are the bold words. So you need to go through the section, and as you're reading, you can see even here in the first paragraph, there are bold words that pop up. Okay, this one says elements right at the end of this first paragraph. And those bold words I expect to see somewhere in your outlines as well. And this time, they have to have a definition. Okay, so in the outline on the right, I just put all those bold words at the end, and then I leave space for a definition. Okay, and then the very last thing, and this might take the most practice, is just the outline format. Okay, the outline format is a particular scheme, it's a strategy for organizing information where the most generic information is on the left-hand side of your paper, and then you use indents, or that little tab button, those indents, to like demonstrate, to show that more specific information is further to the right. So if we look at the section 2.1 matter, the most general information about this whole section is the title. That's why on the example on the right, 2.1 is as far to the left as we can go. Okay, from there, we have an introduction paragraph, and that's our first bullet. And then we get to our first heading, elements in the periodic table. Okay, this heading is more specific than the title itself. So the letter A is indented to the right just a little bit to represent that it's more specific. Okay, and all of our green headings, these headings that sit above the paragraphs, those headings all will have capital letters, and they'll all line up right on top of each other. So if we look on the right-hand side, other headings you're going to see in this section, you'll see the next one is atoms and isotopes, Y-atoms bond, and so on. Okay. Another part of the format is subheadings. Okay, so under our second heading, atoms, there are 2 paragraphs, which on the right-hand side you can see 1 and 2. And then we get to a blue subheading. Subheadings are more specific even yet than the headings themselves, and definitely than the title. All of our subheadings are going to be represented with a number. Okay, so protons and neutrons is more specific than atoms, so we indent to the right just a little bit. And then we use numbers to represent those subheadings, protons and neutrons. Okay, that has 2 paragraphs, 2 bullets, 2 summary sentences. And then you just continue in that pattern through the entire outline. Okay, on the right-hand side, this is the only time I will set up a section for you. So you can use 2.1 as an example, as something you refer back to remind yourself of what the appropriate format for our outlines is. Okay, again, in summary, the 3 things I'm grading. 1 is that every paragraph has a summary sentence. 2 is the bold words and a definition. And 3, would be the outline format itself with the appropriate indents and the appropriate labeling of headings and subheadings. Okay, if you have questions, please make sure to ask.